Hang on just 1 second. I'm almost to the door. I just have to wash off my hands real quick. Ah, who do we have here? Oh, hello. You must be one of my son's friends, is that correct? Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Come in, come in. I wouldn't want you standing out there in the cold. I'm afraid I don't recognize you. Have we met before? No. Well, that's good. It would be rather embarrassing if I'd forgotten your name. Why don't you tell me what it is? Ah, I see. Well, it's definitely good to put a face to that name in particular. My son has spoken quite highly of you, and fairly often. It's definitely good to see you in person after hearing so much. I suppose you two must be very close, though I understand that you only met this school year. Actually, my son isn't actually home right now. I don't know if you texted, or you are going to meet up here, or whatever it is that you kids do, but you're welcome to sit and wait for him, if that's something you'd like to do. Oh no, not at all. It will be no trouble for me. You're welcome to stay for as long as you want. I was just in the kitchen. You're welcome to sit in there with me, if you'd like, while you wait. I wouldn't mind some company myself, if I'm being honest. Or you can wait here in the entry or the living room. Or I could let you into his bedroom as well. Whatever you feel like. Honestly, you've probably been here enough times to feel comfortable, even if I haven't necessarily run into you. So, your discretion. If you'd like to come help me in the kitchen, I'm making some homemade chocolate chip cookies. And, well, there might be a small possibility that I bought a few too many extra chocolate chips that I just might need help with eating, if you'd be interested. So, what do you say? Perfect. Come on in then. Sorry, I'm aware that this place is kind of a mess. I've been in a little bit of a cooking spree recently. That happens sometimes when I get stressed. And that's been a little bit of my norm recently. I suppose you might know from my son that my husband's been called on a business trip for the last few weeks. It was supposed to be shorter, but you know how those things go. Men, am I right? Not that it really matters to me in particular. He brings in the money, and I suppose I should be grateful for that, regardless of how often he's actually here to be with me. Though I suppose he is paying for the kitchen and the cookies and whatever, but, well, I know that it's not necessarily the most forward-thinking kind of thing to be a happy housewife type, but to be honest, I kind of enjoy being a housekeeper. I could have had a career, I suppose, if I really wanted, but I chose this, and I'm mostly happy with it. It's just that sometimes it can be a little frustrating, is all. But I suppose if I had been choosing a normal job, then I would just be frustrated there, so maybe I win in the end. Here, I have some spare marshmallows lying around, since there's some Rice Krispie treats hardening over there. They should be ready in a little bit, but you can always eat the ingredients while you're waiting. I don't see anything wrong with a little bit of indulgence. Though, I suppose it's possible you've had some of my cooking before, considering you're over here all the time. Do you like it? Do you think there's anything I could change? There's no need to spare my feelings. I don't mind, honestly. Cooking for me is less of a skill and more of a hobby. I just do it because I enjoy it. And if I can change a few things to make it taste even better, well, isn't that the whole point of it? Trying new things? That's what I'd like to do, anyway. Though I suppose my son can get a bit tired of me constantly baking like this. As I said, I tend to do it more when I'm stressed. So recently there's been an increase of baked goods around the house, both to make and eat. So I suppose it's good timing that you come here. Perhaps then you could take some of it home with you? Would you like that? Excellent. I can have the Rice Krispie treats boxed up for you. And depending on how long you stay here, then the cookies can go with you as well. Apologies for the flour everywhere. Give me just one moment. I'm going to roll out the dough. Just let me roll up my sleeves first. I'm the one that'll have to clean them, and I know from experience that cooking stains might be a little problematic. But, of course, I can get almost anything out of almost anything. Let me know if you ever need any tips. So, tell me. I know a bit about you from my son, but it's definitely different to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. What have you been up to recently? Just hanging out, huh? I remember those days. They were definitely good ones. Honestly, seeing my son and all his friends here just kind of makes me nostalgic for when I was a little teenager. Of course, it was a bit different for me, considering I was looking for a man, and a rich one at that. And I have lots of tips on that, in case you're interested, and that kind of thing as well. I'll tell you a secret. The key to it is to just stop thinking about love. I know that most people would scoff at the idea of marrying someone for convenience or for money, but, well, I know plenty of women who enjoy their lives just fine. I mean, if you had the option to marry rich and sit around and bake cookies all day, wouldn't you take it? That's what I wanted. Or, at least what I thought I wanted. Well, I suppose there's always room for adjustment. It was good for quite a while, and I do love my son quite deeply. Though these constant business trips that my husband is insisting on going on, well, they can get a little tedious in the end. But still, an empty house can be a happy one if you know how to fill it. With baking, I guess, is my technique. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure that all this adult stuff is quite boring to you, especially my rich, sad wife story. I'm only joking. As you can probably tell from the house, my life is quite cushy. There's really no reason for me to complain about it. Or there shouldn't be, anyway. I suppose that kind of thing isn't something you're considering just yet. Still in the world of homework and football games. I definitely remember those times. Though I do know that I've always had quite a bit of focus on looking for something like this. I know times have changed slightly since I was a girl, but definitely women in careers has become a bit more normalized. Though I suppose mine was always a bit of a girl's job. Yes. I did have an option at a career in, well, shall we say, modeling? It was something I was considering when I was still young. Fresh out of high school, I was excited for all that kind of thing, but, well, there are some men that are not exactly fans of that type of work, so, well, I had some choices to make. I did meet him well in my career, and now he manages other models, and I'm at home. So, that's pretty much the long and the short of it. I suppose I should have seen that coming, but, well, when you're young, the money can look quite enticing, and even then he had quite a bit of it. I suppose I could have had a chance to make some of my own as well, but, well, I was still not much more than a girl when I met him, and he had a lot of promises, which I thought I wouldn't have been able to cash in if I had been by myself. Not to say that it's all bad living my life like this. As I said, my son is the light of my life now, and that definitely would not have been possible in my previous career path. And, well, getting to see him live his life and, well, he's at the age where he's ready to start going on dates. That definitely can heal some of whatever it is that's left in my heart from what happened to me a bit earlier. Besides, I'm sure to you it seems pretty odd to complain about all this. I mean, sitting in a lush house making cookies all day. For my son and his friends. I'm not unaware that it's something that's quite a bit of a privilege. And, well, there is a reason that I haven't left him, despite a couple issues. But I suppose I shouldn't be telling you all this. My apologies. It's just, well, sometimes this kind of life can be a bit isolating. I know that you're not exactly a child, but you're not exactly an adult either. I shouldn't treat you as though someone that could be my friend when you are my son's, in fact. There's other moms that I can speak with, of course, through the PTO or soccer bake sales, I suppose, but, well, oftentimes they balance their career and their children quite a bit better than I've managed to. Not that I mind exactly. I am glad that I have the time to spend with my son, and his friends as well, I suppose. But there's always the great what if, I suppose. You're still young, with lots of options going forward. Just a little advice from someone on the other side of the growing up thing. Make sure you consider all your options. You don't have to decide too fast, you know. There's always room for a little more growth, and who knows, maybe pressing forward a little farther in what you're passionate about instead of settling can lead to more happiness down the line. Though, I suppose we're probably set up to live very different lives. I hear from my son that you do quite well in school, and also that you help him cheat on homework. No need to look shocked. He tells me all kinds of things. And I'm not the type of parent to get upset about that kind of thing. A high school degree really is just a piece of paper. So, I suppose in my opinion, if you're smart enough to know how to cheat without getting caught, then you've earned it just as well. Though, I hear you're not the kind of person that needs to do that, which is also a feat in and of itself. Brains are important. They can get you places. Make sure you don't squander them, okay? I know. I'm kind of the fun mom on most ends of things, but I do know that good grades get you what you want most of the time. Something I learned a little too late, given my situation. But I suppose I can be at least a little maternal, passing down some knowledge, as well as the cookies. Ah, here. It seems like the oven has finished preheating. I can get them in now. Oh, and I think I just heard the door as well. It seems that my son has returned. I'm glad that he's back and can save you from my rambling. I suppose you guys can go hang out, as you say. But if you ever need some more cookies or would like to just hang out and talk away from your house, you're welcome to come over whenever, regardless of if my son is home or not. I've spent so much of my life perfecting the perfect house. It would be a shame if I only got to spend it with my family members. So, you're welcome to share it with me. At least, it would make me feel better if there was more people that could appreciate the fruits of, my labors, I suppose. So, you're always welcome to stop by. It was wonderful meeting you.